This video includes biomes and ecosystems of world, food web and energy flow, and biogeochemical cycle. Biomes are ecosystems with a similar climatic condition. First one is marine biome. The sea as an ecosystem. Sea is the thickest and largest ecosystem. Based on size, Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean of the world, followed by Atlantic, Indian Ocean, Southern Ocean and Arctic. Major producers of sea are phytoplanktons. They are productively efficient. Rate of metabolism of small organisms will be greater than that of large organisms. Based upon proximity to shore, depth and light availability, open ocean is divided into different zones. Based on depth, open ocean divides into Neritic zone and Pelagic zone. Neritic zone, which extend from intertidal zone to the edge of continental shelf. Continental shelf is the underwater extension from coastal line of a continent. The pelagic zone is divided into epipelagic, mesopelagic and bathypelagic. Beyond pelagic zone is the abyssal and hadal. Based on light availability, open ocean is divided into photic zone and aphotic zone. Photic zone is only 200 meters. The largest coral reef of the world is the Great Barrier Reef of the Australian coastline. Free swimming animals of open sea are called nekton. Algae growing in cool temperate oceanic water are known as kelps. Microcystis pyrifera is the largest submarine algae in the world. The deepest zone in the open ocean is known as hadal. In aquatic environments, plants are usually found in the dark zone near the surface of the water where light is able to penetrate, that is photic zone. Rocky intertidals are ecosystems associated with marine biomes, which occurs on hard substrates where the land meets the sea. The vertical zonation of the rocky intertidal includes the uppermost supralittoral, followed by upper littoral zone, middle littoral zone and lower littoral zone. Supralittoral zone only receives splashes of waves. Upper littoral zone will be submerged by a highest wave. Mid littoral zone can be submerged by a regular high wave, and lower littoral zone only exposes during lower tide. The highest zone of the rocky intertidal is supralittoral. Around hydrothermal vents, chemoautotrophic bacteria use dash to produce organic compounds, that is hydrogen sulfide. Associated with marine biome, ecosystems include seashores, mangrove forests and salt marshes. Aerial roots of mangroves are called pneumatophores. When the sun, moon and the earth form a straight line, the condition is known as syzygy. The gravitational pull of the moon will be higher than that of sun. This will cause a strong tide that is known as spring tide. If the sun, earth and moon forms a 90-degree angle, they will form a weak tide that is called neap tide. Langmuir circulation, as the wind passes over the water surface, it creates a shear, moving the top surface more than the surface immediately below. The effect will be higher in the top and it gradually decreases towards the bottom. Such shears create long tubes or cells of rotating water that line up in the same direction as the wind. That is known as Langmuir circulation. As the surface currents move water away from the continent, it is replaced by water from the greater depths, a process known as coastal upwelling. This will bring nutrient-rich water. Climate pattern that occurs across the tropical Pacific Ocean every 3 to 7 years termed El Nino. Transition zone between freshwater and marine ecosystems are termed estuaries, estuarine ecosystem. They are most productive semi-enclosed water bodies with intermediate salinity. The transition area between two biomes are ecotones. Aquatic ecosystems are of two types, lentic and lotic. Lentic is the stagnant, lotic is the free floating. Based on light availability, aquatic ecosystems are divided into two zones, littoral zone and limnetic zone. Limnetic zone followed by profundal zone and benthic zone. Less productive lakes are termed oligotrophic. In the case of temperate and tropical lakes are less productive because they are isothermal. In temperate lakes, during spring season and autumn season, the upper layer will be frozen and it sinks. This causes a bottom layer upwelling. This nourishes the entire lake, thus the productivity increases. Layer of temperate lake in the summer season includes FP limnion, upper layer, thermocline, a transition zone, hypolimnion, a lower layer. Dissolved oxygen. Dissolved oxygen determines the quality of aquatic life. The amount of dissolved oxygen in freshwater biomes, if it is greater than 9 parts per million, supports abundant fish population. If it is greater than 7 parts per million, supports growth or activity of fishes. In 6 ppm, supports spawning of fishes. Less than 3 ppm, too low for fish population. Less than 2.2 ppm, it is termed anoxic condition. Largest lake in the world is Caspian Sea. Deepest lake in the world is Lake Baikal. Largest lake in India is Kollaru Lake, Andhra Pradesh. Wetlands dominated by woody plants are called swamps. 3 broad areas of a river, headwaters, transfer zone and deposition zone. The largest river in the world by volume of discharge is Amazon. The areas around rivers and lakes where rooted vegetation taps into groundwater termed riparian zone. The production of phytoplankton and algae is greatest at dash areas of an estuary, at least at areas of intermediate salinity. Terrestrial biomes. The world's climatic condition is influenced by airflow and solar radiation. Coriolis force. Any surface flow is deflected towards the west as a result of Earth's rotation. Air circulation nearest equator is termed Hartley cell. Circulation opposed to Hartley cell, poleward circulation, is termed Ferrel cell. Desert lying in the rain shadow of Himalaya is Gobi Desert, a cold desert. Mountain play a major role in climatic condition. This blocks rain, wind. Thus two regions are created, a windward side and a leeward side. Leeward side is usually rain shadow region where the rain clouds are blocked by mountain. Biomes getting highest annual precipitation is tropical rainforest. Biome with least annual precipitation is tundra. Tropical rainforests are seen in Southern and Central America, Western and Central Africa, Madagascar and Southeast Asia. The plants are facilitated with drip tip leaves for easy flow of water. The tropical rainforest is highly productive. Tropical deciduous forest is seen in Southern Africa, Brazil and Thailand, Northern Australia, Mexico and much of India. Amazon rainforest is the lungs of planet. Temperate rainforest stream along the northwest coast of North America from northern California through Washington State, British Columbia and into southeast Alaska. The number of species of mammals, birds and amphibians is highest. Temperate deciduous forest seen in eastern US, western Europe and eastern Asia. Many mammals hibernate during cold month. Temperate coniferous forest in North America and Russia. In Russia it is called taiga. Tropical grassland savannas. Temperate grassland in different continents termed. In North America it is prairie. In South America it is veld. In Russia it is steppes. In Argentina it is Pampas. It is having the richest soil. The most highly productive terrestrial communities on Earth are grasslands. Hot deserts are Sonoran, Sahara of North Africa, Kalahari of South Africa. Atacama of Chile. Tundra, too cold and too dry for plants to exist. A permanently frozen soil is called permafrost, seen in tundra. The biomass of tropical forest is equaled only by taiga, tropical temperate coniferous forest. Food webs and energy flow. Ecosystems rely on two major sources of energy, solar energy and chemical fuel. Classification based on the source of energy is of four types. Unsubsidized solar powered ecosystem, where ecosystems solely depend on direct rays of sun. In such a case of ecosystems, productivity will be low. Example, open ocean. Naturally subsidized solar powered ecosystem. Thus, auxiliary source of energy such as wind, tide, water current is there. Thus, the solar energy can be converted into organic production. Thus, productivity will be increased. Example, estuaries and some tropical rainforest. Man-subsidized solar powered ecosystems are agricultural lands. Fuel powered ecosystem is the urban city. Different type of food webs. The feeding relationships are termed food chains, in which producers are in primary trophic level, followed by consumers in secondary, tertiary and successive trophic levels. The complex of food chains are termed food webs. There are three types of food webs. Connectedness web, detailing all possible links regardless of importance. In the case of all possible links, any organism can eat any other organism, but prey doesn't eat predators. Energy web, based on energy, thickness of web indicate the relative amount of energy flowing along a particular link. In the case of functional web, it is dependent on an important species, includes ecologically important species regardless of energy flow. Connectance is the equal to actual number of links by potential number of links. Actual number of links seen and possible potential number of links. Linkage density is the number of links per species. Consumption efficiency is equal to consumption of n species by production of n minus 1 species. The organic matter produced by lower trophic level n minus 1 is consumed by higher trophic level n. In terrestrial biomes, consumption efficiency is higher in grasslands. Consumption efficiency for aquatic ecosystem greater than grassland, which is greater than forest. Assimilation efficiency. From the organic matter consumed, how much is assimilated into the system of n trophic level? That is assimilation efficiency. Production efficiency, from which assimilated, how much is produced after its metabolic activities, that is production efficiency. Trophic level transfer efficiency, the comparison between the production of lower trophic level and higher trophic level, production of n and by production of n minus 1. Assimilation efficiency is higher in carnivores because they are assimilating the soft tissues. They are consuming the soft tissues. High production efficiency is in invertebrates. Trophic level transfer efficiency is high in marine food chains. Pyramid of numbers always upright but inverted in the case of a tree. Pyramid of biomass always upright but inverted in aquatic food chain, because primary producers are always low in biomass. Pyramid of energy can never be inverted. Gross primary productivity. Carbon dioxide fixed during a given period of photosynthesis. The organic matter potentially available for plants. Net primary production. Net primary productivity is equal to gross primary production minus respiration. Net primary production is high in rainforest. Liebig's law of minimum. Species biomass limited by scarcest factor. The biomass is limiting due to the limitation of scarcest factor. Then it is called the Liebig law of minimum. Important nutrients affecting primary production in aquatic ecosystem are nitrogen and phosphorus. Productivity of temperate deciduous forest are greater than tropical deciduous forest, which is greater than tropical rainforest, greater than Arctic tundra, greater than open ocean, which is greater than desert. For tropical rainforest, due to high rain, the soil nutrients get leached out. Which type of producers have the highest efficiency of gross primary production? Coniferous trees, always persistent leaves, providing surface area, photosynthetic efficiency. Primary production in aquatic ecosystem is limited mainly by light and nutrients. The phases of decomposition is leaching, fragmentation and chemical alteration. Leaching is the movement of water-soluble compounds. Fragmentation, breakdown of the organic matter into small fragments. Chemical alteration, changes of chemical composition of the dead organic matter. Residence time is the time required for a litter to decompose. It differs. R is equal to litter pool by litter fall. Residence time equal to litter pool by litter fall. Decomposition rate is high in aquatic ecosystems. Biogeochemical cycle is sulfur cycle. It is a sedimentary cycle. Pyrite rocks is the greatest reservoir of sulfur. The gas that causes acid rain is sulfur dioxide. Oxides of nitrogen combined with hydrocarbons and other pollutants under the driving force of sunlight to produce synergism known as photochemical smog. The concentration of certain chemicals such as DDT in higher trophic level is known as biomagnification. Phosphorus cycle doesn't have an atmospheric pool. Greatest reservoir is rock. Carbon cycle, greatest reservoir is fossil fuels, followed by lake sedimentation, soil, atmosphere and plants. Nitrogen cycle, greatest reservoir is atmosphere, followed by eutrophication, lake, plants and soil. In the case of plants assimilating nitrogen, ammonia is converted into nitrite by Nitrosomonas and Nitrococcus. Nitrite conversion to nitrate by Nitrobacter. Nitrate is converted to free nitrogen by denitrifying bacteria Pseudomonas. Which of the following nutrient doesn't cycle globally, that is phosphorus, doesn't have an atmospheric pool? Eutrophication is highest where biological oxygen demand is high. Eutrophication is caused by an overabundance of nutrients which lead to an increase in algal population. More rainfall occurs over land than at sea is a false statement. Then organisms fixing nitrogen symbiotically and free living nitrogen fixing organisms. Macronutrients include nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, carbon, hydrogen, calcium, magnesium and sulfur. Micronutrients: iron, manganese, zinc, copper, boron, molybdenum and chlorine. Mineral uptake of autotrophs by complexing with metal ions are termed chelation. Major chelating ions are calcium, magnesium, zinc and copper. Any factor that tended to slow down the rate of metabolism or potential growth in an ecosystem is said to be limiting factor. Based on this is Liebig law of minimum. The nutrient that causing red tide is iron.